Hey guys, like I have always said, the goal of this YouTube channel is to make sure that a lot of people immigrate, a lot of people change their destinies, and a lot of people get the material across the world. But again, I'm just going to always put the material here so that if you find it interesting, you share to somebody that can use it, and or maybe can use it for somebody, or maybe it can help the person. Without wasting more time, let me talk about the upcoming admissions that are going to take place very soon. I realize that a lot of us, we do not have this some required amounts of money to immigrate abroad. And today, if your money is not enough, then watch this video. If you want to move to any country in the European Union, then watch this video. If you want to move to Canada and USA, watch this video. First of all, let me start with those who have been applying to the US and getting rejections. I want to tell you that if you get 1, 2 rejections, it is not the end of the world. Okay, you have to keep applying. Now, if you get 1 or 2 for Canada as well, you have to keep applying. If you apply to US 2 times and it doesn't work, try Canada, because Canada, there is no interview. A lot of people complain about the USA because there is an interview you have to undertake or you have to undergo with the embassy officials or the visa officer. But with Canada, it looks pretty simple to me compared to the USA, because your interview is going to be in the form of a letter of explanation. Now, this video is just a random video about the upcoming intake, September 2024. First, let's begin with Europe. I'm going to be talking about some countries, giving you some tips and telling you how much the proof of funds is going to look like. But again, I always like to talk about Canada because of the advantages it offers in terms of studies, again, working possibilities, again, PR pathways, and of course, the citizenship. All these things are easy to achieve in Canada. For example, as an international student, if you are working in Canada and let's say if you get the visa to migrate to Canada, automatically your 20 hours per week is secured. Okay, you do not need anything like a working experience from your employer. All is that you are now legal to work with a study permit, because you are going to get this study permit at the entry point, all right, when you are moving to Canada, at the border section. Let me say from the airport, they are going to give you. No big deals about that. Now, the other possibility is that when you work in Canada as an international student, you can easily get a job in the field of studies in which you did your studies. For example, I have friends who studied in Finland, but they are not able to get jobs in that particular thing they did. For example, if you did business administration, you may not be able to get a job in Finland in that particular field. But in Canada, you would work only in that section. If you study nursing, you are going to be a nurse. That one is for sure. It is guaranteed. And these are some of the advantages that always push me to talk about Canada. And I'm not saying that you cannot get a job in the field of business administration. I'm quoting examples that there are people I know who have spoke to me one-on-one on consultation. They told me the reason they want to move to Canada is because of that. And sometimes it's because they didn't study the Finnish language. In foreign countries, you have to study their language in order to get certain positions in those countries. But Canada is not like that, because it's an English-speaking country, though they are looking for French speakers now. Another advantage with Canada is you can apply for permanent residency from your home country if you have 3 years work experience and above, and of course, a bachelor's degree. Then you take your English exam, the IELTS. So these are some of the reasons I always talk about Canada. And in Canada, you can easily get your permanent residency when you study a 1 year or 2 years programs in Canada. And of course, the citizenship after 3 years of getting the PR. So these are some of the things you have to know in Canada. Of course, people usually say that Canada is expensive. When you're making videos, talk about living costs, talk about money for accommodation. Everywhere is expensive. Even if you go to the Netherlands, you go to Switzerland, it's still going to be expensive. But now it depends on what you want. It depends on your choice of selection. It depends on what you are looking ahead in future. Okay, so now the choice is yours. Everywhere is expensive. Even in Cyprus, when I was in 2018, we used to buy food. You could use maybe 200 Turkish lira at that time and feed. But right now, you cannot use 400, 500 Turkish lira a month and feed. It's too small now, but then it was. So these are some of the changes you need to know. But again, like I said, it depends on what you want and what you are looking at ahead. Now, Let's take a look at a country like Switzerland. If you are moving to Switzerland, it is relatively easy to move. Okay, I'm just explaining these things to you because admissions is almost open in Switzerland. In fact, it's already open. Some universities like the federal universities are already open. ETH Zurich is an example. And if you apply and gain admissions, there is also a possibility for you to gain scholarships. But however, I always tell international students, do not rely on scholarships because it is not a guarantee. It is not like a win-win situation. Okay, scholarships is very competitive. However, applying with the notion that you have to pay your tuition fee is important. But wait, there is one advantage with studies in Switzerland, not only with the federal universities, cantonal universities, applied science universities, and teacher universities. These are the 4 different types of universities in Switzerland. All of them are very cheap. Federal universities will charge you 850 euros per month. Then cantonal university, I think around 1,000 to 300 euros per month. And I think the teacher training universities and the applied science universities will charge like 1,250. It depends. Now, looking at this is per year or per semester. Per semester. Even if it's per semester or per year, it's still very cheap. Imagine you are in Switzerland, a country with a very strong economy. Remember, in Switzerland, you are going to pay expensive stuff. You are going to pay your housing very expensive, but when you work, they still pay you very much money. Like the money you are going to earn is enough for you to be paying all of these things. So the bigger the economy, the bigger issues, the bigger the salary. I hope you understand. As an international student, jobs are everywhere. Don't worry yourself about jobs when you are moving abroad. The first thing is to target the visa. Visa is now going to be complicated for Switzerland because of what? The proof of funds. Proof of funds is what is going to limit most of us. And for Switzerland, you need 21,000 Swiss francs. Remember, I talked about those tuition fee. I mentioned them in euros, but it was supposed to be mentioned in Swiss franc. But however, euros and Swiss franc, they have the same value. Like 850 euros is the same as 850 Swiss franc, almost the same. Even if there is a difference, it's not that much. So please put this into consideration. The reason why I talked about Switzerland is because of the tuition fee. Now, let's take a look at another country, which is, for more videos, I have a lot of videos on this YouTube channel, guys, so you can check them out so that you learn a lot, because there might be things I'm saying here whereas I didn't mention in those videos, and there are things I didn't mention in those videos that I will say here. However, another place is Austria. You have to look at Austria as well. The reason why I'm suggesting Austria is because it is affordable. It is very cheap. With 726 euros, you are good to go, plus 22 euros semester contribution. This is for Austrian universities. A majority of them, at least 75%, will charge you this money, will ask you this money per semester. So that's all you need. Then at the end of the day, you need to put money in your bank account. I think the money now is like $13,000. And remember, those who are below 24 years, have their own amount of money to show as proof of funds to migrate to Austria, while those who are 24 and above have their own amount. But there is one problem with Austria. Most of their universities will ask you to do legalization and verification. The process of legalization begins from your school, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and the Austrian Embassy or VFS Global. And now it depends on the country in which you are. There are a lot of videos on this channel. I have talked about this many times in those videos, so please make sure you check those videos and you watch them, because at the end of the day it is going to help you. Now let's take a look at another country, Germany. Now I want to tell you that if you didn't know, Germany is looking for workforce, Germany is looking for labor, Germany is looking for internationals like you and I to come and work in their country. But now, how is it going to go? There is something they have introduced called Opportunity Card, and there is something they are also introducing called the EU Blue Card. The blue card, not the EU. I think that blue card is for those from Europe, and the opportunity card is for internationals. But however, read more about that. You can check from DW. There is a website called DW, a news agency. And please, they are looking for workers because of what? The aging population. So as an international student now, it is your advantage to find yourself in Germany. You may use other options to enter Germany, but the best and easiest options is the student visa. But again, I want to draw your attention to the fact that before you even start looking at this, make sure you put the embassy and visa application into consideration. Why do I say so? In some countries, it is relatively hard and difficult now to gain appointments, especially Cameroon, Nigeria, maybe West African countries. I don't know how the system operates now, but if you think it is going to be easy for you, apply to Germany. Also remember that Germany is going to be stopping free tuition education very soon. This is what will have been in the news for a couple of months now. So you should put this into consideration. And remember, don't be surprised when you apply for a free school and upon reaching Germany in September 2024, you are asked to pay a tuition fee. So if you are asked about this, just know that it is true, all right? Because Germany is looking to stop tuition-free opportunities. Remember, Norway was like this before, and now tuition fee has been implemented. Some years ago, Sweden and Finland was like that, but it was stopped. So please prepare your mind and move to Germany, because after you finish studying in Germany, you can equally land a job. Of course, that one is for sure. Germany is one of the I think the best industrialized country now in Europe. I don't want to start mentioning, involving it with the West. Now in Europe, Germany is one of the strongest in terms of economy. Okay. Now, the reason I mentioned Germany is because they are looking for labor force, they are looking for workers, and their tuition for now is free. So if you can find yourself in Germany now to study your lectures in April, that is advantage you. You are going to study for free. Now, another cheap country I would like to mention, there are two of them. If you have less than 5 million naira or 5 million CFA francs as a Nigerian or Cameroonian, apply to these countries, Czech Republic and Slovenia. First, let me begin with Czech Republic. With Czech Republic, you are going to go through their embassy, and their proof of funds is not up to 5 million. According to what I calculated, it is, I think, if you have like 3.5, 4 million in between this interval, and when you have paid your tuition fee already for Czech Republic, you can move easily. Remember, the application process is not that easy. It's not that easy, because I have a lot of you here. You are like, oh, Milton, is hard. It's hard. How do you intend to succeed in life if you do not do things that are hard? If you do not do things that people are not doing? For you to succeed, you have to do something that somebody is not doing. And those things that those people are not doing are the hardest things they cannot do. All right? They are the hardest things. So you have to think about it, put a lot of things into consideration, then you strike immediately. Czech Republic is very accessible. And if you are in Czech Republic, you can always access other areas in the Schengen zone and even in the West, America and USA. Please, when you move abroad, make sure you are legal. If you are not legal abroad, you cannot apply for any other visa to go anywhere. Legal means that you have your residence permit in that country. I'm saying this because I know a lot of us, we are not. This is a fact. I'm telling you this because some people have run to me before, and I was asking for such opportunities which I can't do. So please put all this into consideration. Another country which is very easy now to enter is Lithuania. When I say very easy to enter, I'm not saying that you will just carry your bags and go to the airport and pay your flight and move. No, I'm saying that if you do the work doesn't really, it's not really complicated. Lithuania, what do? You look for a school, apply for it, right? When you gain admissions, all you need to do is to do what? Pay your tuition fee, then go to the Migri website, you check all the information, all the documents, you apply, you upload them, you get your reference code, you pay your visa fee, then you choose where to go. At the end of the day, are you going to Dubai, Lebanon, or Jordan? You choose where to go, then on the interview day, you go for the appointment. And that is it. If they are giving you the temporary residence card, they give you and you move. It's not a visa again. I saw a comment on my YouTube channel, on this particular channel. Someone was saying that because of visa issues, she didn't move to Lithuania again. I don't understand if she has not watched my videos or which visa she's talking about. There is no visa again. They are giving temporary residence permit now. So you are not going to Egypt again. You are going now to Dubai, Jordan, or Lebanon. Probably I may be speaking and the process is changing because a lot of things will change as September is coming. Remember, Canada is already saying that they have to be verifying all admission letters now. So if you go to people to do admissions for you, be very, very careful. I'm just explaining this as a random video so that we can all pick interest in it. Slovakia is a very cheap country in Europe and a lot of people do not know. Okay, with tuition fee of 200, 400, 1,000 euros, 1,005, you can study in Slovakia. There are videos I did on my YouTube channel explaining all of this. So please put all of this into consideration. Then also consider, when you are thinking of moving to a country, you should be looking at employment prospect after you finish. Are they going to give me some time after I finish? For Canada, of course, postgraduate work permit. If you study for 1 year, you get 1 year postgraduate. If you study for 2 years, you get 3 years postgraduate. Then after that, you apply for PR. As simple as that. Iceland, if you finish in Iceland, you are going to get 3 years postgraduate. Then you look for a job. And definitely you are going to get this job. Switzerland, 6 months. If you study in Switzerland and you can speak their language, the language of that particular canton in which you are, definitely after you cannot be in Switzerland for 6 months without getting a job. No way. Switzerland is a country that is looking for people. They are even bringing foreigners now from abroad. So that's to tell you that if you study in there, study the language. Like I always say in my previous videos, I have been saying this. If you study in a country and the language is not English, try as much as possible to study their language, because at the end of the day, it's going to help you secure a very good job. A very good one for that matter. I hope this video will help you. There are a lot of countries I have not talked about. Belgium, I will be talking about schools in Belgium, Denmark as well. Hungary, there is a scholarship in Hungary called Hungarian Stipendium. It's open now. And I will talk about a lot of other things, schools in Switzerland as well that are open. I hope this helps you till we meet again in another one.